Hitoyalo Jagata Samsare Patita Bhavam Mohitu Bhagavatara Patita Bhavanayitu Bhagavatara Samopatita Prabhu Napaiveya Bhakti Yoga Shrivaha Avalokanatha Bhakti Yoga Shrivaha Avalokanatha Doya Paro Sriyacharya Prabhu Om Hare Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Ganesha ki jai, Sri Mahesh Pandit ki jai, Sri Narendra Thakur ki jai, Transcendental Book Distribution ki jai, Shri Radha Parisisvara ki, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki, Shri Mathai Sachi Sutta ki, Srila Prabhupada's Transcendental Book Marathon ki jai, Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda
Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindavan
Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindavan
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindavan
Jai Advaita Chandra Gaura Bhakta Vrindavan
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindavan
Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindavan.
Text number 54. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, chapter 10. Shivananda Sen Prabhura Britya Antaranga
Shivananda Sena Prabhura Britya Antaranga
Shivananda Sena Prabhura Britya Antaranga
Shivananda Sena Prabhura Britya Antaranga
Prabhustane Haite Sabe Laina Janna Sangha
Prabhustane Haite Sabe Laina Sangha
Shivananda Sena Prabhura Britya Antaranga
Shivananda Sena Prabhura Britya Antaranga
Prabhustane Aite Sabe Layena Janna Sangha
Prabhustane Haite Sabe Laina
Shivananda Sena Prabhura Britya Antaranga
Shivananda Sena Prabhura Britya Antaranga
Prabhustane Aite Sabe Layena Janna Sangha
Prabhustane Haite Sabe Laina Shivananda Sena Prabhura Britya Antaranga
Shivananda Sena Prabhura Britya Antaranga
Prabhustane Haite Sabe Laina Yangra Sangha
Prabhustane Aite Sabe Layena Janna Sangha
Shivananda Sena Prabhu Britya Antaranga
Shivananda Sena Prabhura Britya Antaranga Prabhustane Aite Sabe Layena Janna Sangha. Ladies,
Shivananda Sena Prabhura Vrityantaranga
Shivananda Sena Prabhura Britya Antaranga
Hare Yate Sabilayana Yangra Sangha
Prabhustane Aite Sabe Layena Janna Sangha.
Shivananda Sena Prabhura Vrityantaranga
Shivananda Sena Prabhura Britya Antaranga Prabhustane Aite Sabe Layena Janna Sangha. Yeah. Is it true that you distributed 2 Bhagavad Gitas yesterday? Ramlila put a big question mark after it. I know. Good, okay. Shivananda Sen,
Shivananda Sena
of the name Shivananda Sen.
Shivananda Sena
Surprise, surprise. Prabhura, of the Lord. Britya, servant. Antaranga, very confidential. Prabhu Stani, in Jagannath Puri, where the Lord was staying. Jaite, while going. Sabe, all. Layena, took. Yanra, whose. Sangha, shelter. Translation, there's no purport to this or the next verse. Shivananda Saint, the 24th branch of the tree, was an extremely confidential servant of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Everyone who went to Jagannath Puri to visit Lord Chaitanya took shelter and guidance from Shivananda Saint. The next verse, because they're connected completely. Pativarshe Prabhugana Sangite Laya Nila Chale Chalena Pate Palana Kariya. Every year he took a party of devotees from Bengal to Jagannath Puri to visit Lord Chaitanya. He maintained the entire party as they journeyed on the road. He was a very good organizer. He'd organized the party who go every year for the Chaturmas, the Rath Yatra, and the consequent Chaturmas in Puri. Hundreds and hundreds of devotees. One of his many services, he was the father of Kavikarnapur, the famous compiler of Gorganadesh Dipika, who was also an eternal associate of the Lord. Shivananda Sain, Lord Chaitanya asked him to look after the finances of Vasudev Datta, who was rather, you could say, like many people, a little bit loose in his financial dealings. He would give money away and use money very freely. So Lord Chaitanya himself asked Shivananda Sain to keep an eye on it. Whereas he would, spend money left, right and centre for this and that. As some people do, maybe slightly frivolous in their expenditures. So he was a very good organizer like that. Even when Raghunath Das, for instance, left home, escaped from his family bondage, the first thing they did, the family, was literally to contact Shivananda Sain to find out if he knew, was he part of the party, did he know where he was, and this and that. He was very conscious of what was going on. Probably, and I say probably because I may be wrong, but probably the most famous pastime of Shivananda Sain refers to a very famous pastime, of course, amongst Gaudiya Vaishnavas. It's well documented later in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Is Shivananda Sain's dog. Not that he had a dog as such, but there was one dog. One year when the party was going from Navadvip or from Bengal to Puri, and this is a common affair in India. Those who've been on Parikrama will probably experience this on a few occasions. It used to be very common, I don't know if it still is. But all of a sudden a dog will appear and will follow the Parikrama, sometimes for weeks and months. And many times they follow the whole Parikrama. They never leave until they leave their body. This happens quite frequently, though it used to happen frequently on Brajmandal Parikrama, particularly on the Padayatra, the India Padayatra. It's quite common. And no, there's no question about it. They're very exalted devotees, happened to have made an offense and took birth in a dog's body. Simple as that. But they're going back to Godhead now by, in that body of a dog, either in Vrindavan by following the Parikrama on Brajman, on Padayatra or whatever. Many examples of that. Shivananda, one dog joined Shivananda Sain's party, and it was obvious that this dog was on the Parikrama or on the parade towards Jagannath Puri with everybody else. So Shivananda Sain accepted it as much as anyone else as one of the pilgrims whom he was responsible to look after on their journey. He would make sure the dog had proper food, and was looked after basically. The dog needs anywhere to stay, but to make sure that at least the dog was safe. But one time when Shivananda Sain, he was organizing not just the route, not just the prasadam and everything, but all the various documents, legal things. So they had to pay toll and they had to go through various toll gates and various, not exactly immigration, but something like that between the different areas that they would pass through. There would be certain authorities there to justify all the persons passing through. And even on boats, crossing rivers, Shivananda Sain would arrange the boats. One time they were crossing a very big river, and the boatman said he wasn't willing to take the dog. Well, Shivananda Sain insisted. He paid a lot of extra money to get the dog across the river. He just took him as another pilgrim. It seemed like a dog, You can swim, just swim across, If you want to come with us, you swim. We're not going to take you. It wasn't like that. He always made sure he was treated equally. Always made sure that the prasad was there. But one time he was held up at one toll gate, and the party went ahead, managed to get through, but there was some complications. He had to stay back and deal with the complications. And in the meantime, they reached their camp for the night, and they took their evening dinner. And when Shivananda Sain arrived, everyone had finished their dinner, and he looked immediately, "Where's the dog? Where's the dog?" No one could see the dog anywhere. First question he asked was, "Did you make sure the dog got prasadam?" And everyone looked at each other, they forgot. And the dog left. The dog disappeared. Shivananda Sain was very disturbed. One of the party has been, mistreated. And he fasted. He continued to fast till he reached Puri. He wouldn't eat himself because the dog didn't get prasadam. So they went after some time. They sent search parties out, but nowhere could they find the dog. And it sounds like it's an attachment to an ordinary dog or something, which is quite ridiculous. It was a street dog. It wasn't even a pedigree or anything. It was a street dog. And he wasn't seeing it as a dog. He was seeing it as an eternal associate of the Lord who had been disrespected. So he felt completely responsible for it, so he himself fasted from there on, as a kind of reaction from the sun. Then eventually they reached Puri, and they managed to reach Puri, and they came to the presence of Lord Chaitanya, and they were all surprised to see that same dog sat right next to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Lord Chaitanya is personally feeding the dog, with coconut pulp. Dogs generally like coconut pulp, at least. And he's personally feeding the dog. Everyone was shocked. Obviously no ordinary dog, that's for sure. And then the next day nobody saw the dog again. It was understood the dog left its body and went straight back to the spiritual world. So that's probably the most famous pastime, in brief, of Shivananda Sain. There's another pastime too, when Lord Nityananda was with Shivananda Sain on the party going to Bengal, and for some reason or another, again he was held up. Oftentimes it was happened. And when they reached their next destination, there had not been any time or arrangements made for proper accommodation. Nityananda was on the party. When Shivananda finally arrived, Nityananda was very angry. What is this? You did not arrange proper accommodation for me. He was very angry. I curse you. He said, I curse you that all your sons will die. Well, Shivananda Sain's wife was crying like that. And Lord Nityananda kicked Shivananda in the chest, gave him a big kick in the chest. We shouldn't imitate this, by the way. Somehow or another, the devotee doesn't quite get it right, Prasadam was not saved for me when I came back from Sankirtan. I curse you! I kicked her in the chest or something. We're not Lord Nityananda, and neither are we Shivananda Sain. Shivananda Sain was in ecstasy. What a blessing! What a blessing! He was so ecstatic. or let all my sons deserve to be, for the offense that I've committed to Lord Nityananda, we all deserve to die. We're very fortunate I've been kicked by Lord Nityananda. Didn't say it quite the same as we would, but he took it as divine mercy. Of course that didn't happen. Lord Nityananda wasn't going to deal with Nishivananda saying like that. He was just his transcendental relationship, and also teaching us, you could say, the importance of making sure we do look after devotees properly. We do things which will cause them to suffer. We should be conscious of other devotees, how our behavior affects other devotees and so on. So he was very unique devotee, pure devotee of the Lord. We'll read the next verse in a second. Shivananda is saying in the spiritual wood. Does anyone remember? I've forgotten who he is. This is the spiritual wood, of course, already, but in terms of Krishna pastimes. Anyone remember who he is? You can look it up. Shivananda is saying, I've forgotten. I'm surprised it doesn't mention it here. It mentions someone else. Prabhupada, in the purport to this pastime with the dog, one of the most famous, I don't know the most famous, but I would say most extraordinary purports. We read in the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj how, Prabhupada says there that he's hoping that one day one of his disciples will also become as advanced as Dhruva Maharaj. And just like Dhruva Maharaj delivered his own mother back to God, even though she wasn't actually qualified in one sense, but because she was his Bhakti Pradarshaka Guru, who guided Dhruva Maharaj towards his perfection, he took her like that. He took her like one of his gurus. So he wouldn't go back to Godhead without his mother. So his mother was also accompanying him back to Godhead because she gave him that direction in the initial stages of his surrender. Like that, Prabhupada said, I hope that at least one of my disciples will become a pure devotee like Dhruva Maharaj, and will also take me back to God. Prabhupada writes like that.
Oh my God.
So we can understand the heart of a pure devotee. They don't think themselves qualified. The Prabhupada said a similar thing. I think it may have been in London actually. He was talking to some nuns, and they were asking him, are you a spiritual master of this organization? He said, I'm trying to be the servant of this movement. I'm not the master, I'm trying to serve it. And they asked him about the nature of a pure devotee. He said, I'm not a pure devotee. All these young boys and girls here, they are qualified to become pure devotees. I'm just trying to serve them. I'm not qualified. The mood of a pure devotee of the Lord. They never think themselves qualified. So in a different way, but a similar, unique, extraordinary statement of Srila Prabhupada's in the purport, where he describes there that if all of his disciples, as that dog went back to Godhead, Prabhupada was talking about how becoming the dog of a pure devotee guarantees one's journey back to Godhead. Even a dog, what knowledge does a dog have? What qualification does a dog have? In one sense, you know what I mean? Doesn't study bhagavatam, can't do deity worship, can't really chant, maybe. Yeah, there was some dog was chanting Ram, Ram, Ram. That's not usually the case. Generally, a dog doesn't have any qualification practically, except for that one thing. They happen to be the dog of a pure devotee of the Lord, the association. They have no other qualification, practically speaking, just the mercy of the Vaishnava. So Prabhupada was describing, therefore, how one should become the dog of a pure devotee of the Lord. Saying it. And if somehow or another a pure devotee of the Lord gives shelter to such dogs, the dog is guaranteed to go back to Godhead. And Prabhupada is saying, if my disciples all become like that, pure devotees of the Lord, then simply by their desire alone, all the living entities will go back to Godhead, even without their knowledge. It's quite an extraordinary transaction, beyond the ability of mundane senses to perceive. we tend to see everything externally. We do not have a clue what's going on inside, to be honest. What the interaction of Krishna, how he can deliver the living entity, and you don't even notice anything's happened at all. Everything looks like nothing has happened. For the same pastime, it's not the same pastime, a similar incident took place with Haridas Thakur and with Vasudeva Datta also. How he wanted to deliver all the living entities back to Godhead. He wanted to stay in this world and suffer the sinful reactions of all living entities so they could be delivered. But Chaitanya says not necessary, just by your will alone they are delivered. With Haridas Thakur, a similar thing. He wanted also the same thing. And Prabhupada describes how Lord Chaitanya first of all said that even if all the living entities are delivered from this world, you won't notice anything's happened, because immediately all the various vehicles will be filled up with other living entities who are dormant. Immediately the whole universe will be occupied without even, it's not like empty then full, it's just you don't see anything happening at all. And the living entities don't even know anything's happening. We're only seeing externally. Internally we do not know what is going on. Even at this point in time we may have some inkling, but we don't have any realized, say, perception of these things. What Krishna can do anything if somehow or another one becomes the dog of a pure devotee, or the pure devotee bestows his causeless mercy upon the living entities. How it works, we cannot say. We judge things externally, oh, the demon, they're this, they're that. And of course, for Madhyamadikari, they do distinguish like this. But Uttama doesn't. They may act like a Madhya for the sake of, we could say, the preaching mission. But internally, who knows what's going on? It's beyond their perception. So, anyway, that's just a little inkling, a little bit of an indication of the nature of the value of associating or getting the mercy of a pure devotee of the Lord. Going back to Godhead, wholly and solely depends upon mercy, Prabhupada writes. It doesn't depend upon our mechanical execution of hearing and chanting, or our own idea of how to go back to God. Prabhupada writes, it depends wholly and solely, that means entirely, upon the mercy of the Lord. And the mercy of the Lord is bestowed upon one who gets the mercy of the Lord's pure devotee. It doesn't come from any other means, practically. One has to get that mercy. So we have that opportunity to get that mercy at every moment, in fact. Prabhupada said, many times people would say, please Swamiji, please bless me, please give me your blessing. Prabhupada said, my blessing is already there. You just are not taking it, that's your problem. My blessings are in my books. You take my books, you read my books, you follow what it says. That's my blessings. That's the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Sometimes we go back to God by Kripa Siddha. Sometimes we hear sadhana siddha, it's a combination. We're not nitya siddha, we're not eternally associates of the Lord, like we're still conditioned. So we're practicing sadhana and we're hoping for kripa, for mercy. And one time Prabhupada said, my mercy are the instructions I give you. They're not some magic wand that waves in the air like necessarily. That could be, but that's not normal. Normal thing is, that causes mercy, it comes in a different form. It comes by the unasked for, you could say, association of the pure devotee, the opportunity to somehow or another connect with Krishna. Pure devotee gives everyone an opportunity to connect with Krishna, one way or another, by taking a book. Even Prabhupada said, even if they don't take the book, even if they don't want the book, if they touch the book, if they see the book, their life is perfected. Just by seeing it. It may take a little time. But that's the beginning, at least, of their end of their material sojourn. Even if they're offensive, somehow or another they've come in contact. They'll have to suffer for their offense, but I think they'll still get the benefit of that contact eventually. Whatever they do. And if they read one page, Prabhupada said, no, one line, not even one line, one word, the life will become perfect. So the potency of these transcendental literatures, that's just one example. You could cite many examples of how you could say that opportunity, that mercy comes, the blessings come. But Prabhupada made it quite clear it was certainly found in his transcendental books. These are the primary, let's say, the primary way people can associate with the pure devotee of the Lord and get his association and his mercy by somehow or another. Even as Prabhupada said, even if they give 1 cent, then they're so fortunate. They're so fortunate. They don't have a clue. It's called a gata sakriti. They don't have a clue what's going on. Not a clue. And even if you explain it, it means nothing to them practically. They can't. It's a foreign language. Spiritual life is a foreign language to people. Absolutely foreign. Even if they're practicing yoga, or they're going to some spiritual group, it's so far from the mark of actual spirituality. There's not a clue, practically in most people's hearts, what it really means. They may have some sentiment for it, an appreciation for the idea, but the practical realization is almost non-existent in people's minds, almost. And therefore devotees have to use, not have to, but they may use logic, reason, appeal, behavior, all kinds of other things mixed in there to try to, let's say, entice or attract persons to receive a gata sakriti. Of course, if they see a devotee, there's an element of a gata sakriti there, especially if they're dressed in a dhoti, because that little picture will stay, or with tilak, that little picture will be in their consciousness. It will never go away. That's one of the benefits of dressing in dhoti and or sari or wearing tilak and so on and so forth. But even if they don't take a book or they don't really, notice in any way, there's a little picture there. They see that consciousness in their heart. They have that little picture in their hearts. That's not to mean that devotees should therefore own it if it actually improves the amount of books distributed, the effectivity of the preaching. In some countries, you cannot dress in sari dhoti even if you want to, because they're a Muslim country or some other country which doesn't allow. And sometimes for book distribution, particularly, Prabhupada said we can wear whatever is effective to distribute more books. Prabhupada wanted us to distribute lots of books. We go on the street to distribute books, primarily. If you're going on book distribution, that is. Talking to people is also there, but Prabhupada wasn't too much encouraging devotees to spend long time talking to people. Occasionally you meet a really sincere person, you may spend time, but generally not. Minimal. It's the general mood that Prabhupada had, and which the book distributors generally do. It's like Mahotsaha, the top book distributor in the world, in fact the top distributor in the history of ISKCON. But he never spends more than 3 minutes with anyone. If they're going to get a bhagavatam, he spends sometimes up to 7 minutes to sell a bhagavatam set, on average. Not more than that. That's if they're only taking one. If they're taking 2, 3, or 4, he might spend a few more minutes. Doesn't waste time. There's billions of people to reach out to. We've got to get that association of pure devotees somehow or another. Prabhupada said, what will your 2 minutes talk to? They'll forget everything. Because if they take a book that is solid, they've got it. They've got it. It's there. What they do with it is another thing, but the book is there. Even if they don't read it. So many times they throw it away. And so many times people pick up that thrown away book and they're the ones who become interested. So many times. So many times. One of the nicest devotees in the British Yatra was working in a garbage recycle centre. He pulled one off the cycle, the belt, and it was just going to get, pulped. And he was one of the ones sorting things out on the cycle. He picked it off there, put it in his pocket, took it home and became a devotee. He's just about to get pulped. And Krishna has his plans. We don't know what they are. And even if they throw it on the floor, thousands of people see it. Okay, it's not very respectful, to say the least. Not the best way to see it. But they do see it. Some or other, they don't even realize it. Some or other. I mean, some kind. We're not encouraging that, by the way. But still, there's something there. Chris will tell us his famous pastime. He sold Saptarishi set, right, down in Republic that time. Sold it to a guy who was from a foreign country. Where are you from? Lithuania?
Ukraine.
Huh? Ukraine? Didn't even speak French, right?
No.
Not a word. What did you tell him?
He looked like he had a lot of money. I said, can you give me 50? Give me 50.
You said something like, I haven't distributed anything today, please take something from me, please. And he took the whole set, right? The Saptarishi, 8 books.
Yeah, he didn't want it, but I asked him, can you take it, please?
He didn't want it, he just gave the money, he didn't want the books, he made him take the books. And then there was this one bum, I mean, this guy was really giving us a bit of a pain in the neck, coming up to the book table in the Republic when I was about 6 months back or something. And he was like pestering a bit. And you know, yeah, one of those types. And about maybe 15 minutes after Chris sold that or gave that set away to this Ukrainian guy, this bum, whatever, you excuse the term, I mean, it's just the term they used for them, but came by holding that set of books and looking at us with a snidey sort of smile, you know, walked straight past us holding the books, you know. And he walked off into the distance holding the books. So I guess the Ukrainian man had put them down somewhere on a bench or something. The fellow would pick them up and take them away. How Krishna works, we don't know, and what he did with it, we don't know either. But you know, they've all got their different purposes. Somehow to give association to people in general. Somehow to change their habits. So, with no further ado, I'll just briefly mention our status right now. I'm going to do it in a way you're not going to get too depressed or too over fanatic, you know. And yeah, I'm going to do 100 Bhagavad Gitas today. We go out for 8 hours and do one. I'll never do that again. Sometimes we get a bit down in the mud. I don't know what happened there. I don't know. Oh, that's something else. Here we go. Quick peek. Well, we did reasonable. We're just, isn't it fun? Every day we're just a little bit behind what we're supposed to average. Only a little bit. I don't know what Krishna's plans are. I really don't know. I don't know. I know we're all tired. I doubt that isn't there one person in this room who's been on Sankirtan who's not a little bit tired. Probably every one of us, probably. And fortunately Ram Leela is still keeping us going. One of the only reasons they go out is to get one of those sandwiches at lunchtime. Even if I do no books, I'm going to go out and get one of those. We should try to just do as many books as we can. So, okay, just a few snippets. Arini is the first one to top 1,000 Gitas during this marathon. She's now on 1,010 Gitas. Well done. Even though your points are not the highest, I don't know what's happening this year. You've already done 169 Arabic books. I think we'll give you 300 Arabic books today to distribute, okay? You've done your Bhagavad Gita. No. I mean, our business is not just to get points, that's for sure. But they do measure these points. Still appealing for some reason to put the Arabic books on a similar category to the other small books so it doesn't become a point marathon. Okay, well we've done 20. Done. The number of points recorded according to the World Sankirtan newsletter is 22,585 book points, which is about 5,000 just over, short of what we did last year. Everyone's coughing. we've distributed so far 99.9% Bhagavad Gita, this figure shows, 7,369 Mahabig books, which 99.9, maybe there's the 3 or 4 Krishna books mixed in there probably, but not many. So everything almost exclusively, actually more than that, 56 Arabic Gitas also distributed this year. So there's about 7,420 Gitas so far, which is the most we've done in any marathon probably since 1985 or 6, let's say. The most Gitas done in a marathon. So well done. And yeah, so it goes up a little bit every day. It's about 355 a day now for the last 4 days. Let's see what we can do. And with Rishnasana Prabhu leaving us today, not today, tomorrow, but I don't know if he's going out today, maybe not. And with the festival at New Mayapur, so they will not be able to participate, it mostly rests upon us, I'm afraid. I think I'll have to start my marathon from today onwards. I've been kind of taking it easy the last month. I think I'll have to start doing Sankirtan now. So, how many a day should I do? How many do you want me to do, Jiva? How many Gitas a day?
Unlimited Bhagavad Gita.
Unlimited?
108 per day.
108, that's child's play. Those were the days. We would stand in front of Marks and Spencer's like the Fnac in England or something. The books piled up outside the shop, 50 boxes of Bhagavad Gitas piled up outside the shop, 4 of us. We finish them off in one day by hook or by crook, whatever. Yeah, those were the days. Anyway, great. We're going to see what we can do, and we thank you all very much for your sacrifice, surrender, and selfless service, really. I don't know, did they get paid for this or not?
Yes, they receive more and more mercy.
They receive more mercy, okay.
Yeah.
Not visible. Okay.
Not directly.
Mercy. More and more mercy. And, yeah, amazing. I think most of the other people out there doing these things get paid, don't they? Those fellows with red jackets and white jackets and stuff. I guess they do. They're pretty enthusiastic, I must say. There's not much. I mean, they go to extremes to try to get their job done. I'm surprised watching them yesterday. They do all the tactics, Oh, you just dropped your purse. They never dropped anything, We don't do that.
In London, we do that, right?
We're not in London. We are cultured over here. This is France. We're not low class English people. I know some people can do that. If it's not your nature, you do that, the guy's going to punch you in the face or something. It's amazing. It depends entirely upon your heart. You know what I mean? It's got to be natural. It's a very natural thing. Not everyone can. You got to be natural. But at least we should try to be nice and friendly and look a little bit jolly. Don't go too morose. Even if you haven't done any books, there's a good reason to look morose, but it doesn't help to increase the number of books distributed. So there we stand. And we will carry on trying, Krishna willing. Hare Krishna. So far, 137 devotees have reported books. So we're 14 short there. Again, everything is like one short each day. The number of Gitas is just like 10, 15% short. The number of book points is 10, 15% short. The number of devotees, new devotees recording is like one short every day. But let's see, maybe at the last moment, there might be some sudden surprises. We usually get some last minute scores coming in, but I don't know this year. Maybe not. Many of our congregation devotees are not there this year. Gokarani is at New Mayapur, she's not doing much. And David Gipran's in India, he's not with us this year, and quite a few like that. Nitai Goswami is busy now with his family. Not so many outstation, for English outstation devotees this year. Let's see. If you have any bright ideas, honest ones, by the way, please put them into practice. Let us know, let someone know, and we'll see if we can implement them in this year's marathon. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai.
And in the Krishna Lila, Shivananda Sen is Vira Gopi. The messenger. Vira Gopi.
Vira.
Yeah, the messenger of Shiva.
Vira Gopi. His son, is that in Gorganadas Deepika? Because it's his son who put this together, this Gorganadas Deepika. Who lists most of the famous Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates and what part they play in Krishna Lila. Most of the most prominent ones mentioned. No, never mind. Vira Gopi, nice one. Hare Krishna. With every book you distribute, you are booking your place in the spiritual world. Booking your ticket to the spiritual world. Hare Krishna. Okay. Another day. Only 4 to go. What are we going to do after that?
Sleep.
Sleep? Not. Oh, if we made our quota, we will. If we haven't, we've got to do another day. That's a surprise coming up. Hare Krishna. Today, the yoga lyric devotees some of them are cooking. Vasalila's cooking today?
Yes, we are.
You're not helping, no, I heard.
Yesterday I went.
Yesterday. Where's the prasad from yesterday?
It will come today.
Okay. You cooked it yesterday, so that's where you were yesterday. Okay, I got it. Now I understand. Now it makes sense. Great, wonderful. Wash out today. Priya Ran is on the hunt today. She's going to hit the road today, hit the street today. The tiger, you won't be able to get near anyone. They'll all have books before they reach you today. 108 today. Is that your quota?
And you fix the quota, Maharaj.
No, don't blame me. Don't blame me. She did 64 gitas on that Gita Jayanti day. 64. I think that was our top. We did, as you know, everyone together, over 1,000 gitas we just did it. If you do 1,000 gitas a day, you can take a break tomorrow. You have to. You're gonna move. No problem. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Transcendental Book Distribution ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.